Okay, welcome back if you're not new, and welcome if you're new. I'm drawing in my sketchbook today. Wait, that was wrong. I'm not drawing in my sketchbook today. I'm drawing on a piece of paper that I ripped out of my paper, like the pack that it comes in, and I ripped some of it off. So it was supposed to be an A3 drawing, like A3 paper, but the universe just didn't want that to happen, I guess. So now we're drawing just on a smaller piece of paper. But yeah. And as you've probably seen from the thumbnail, I'm drawing a portrait of a pretty normal looking dude, actually. Still definitely my style, but much more normal than normally. Yeah. And I don't really have anything interesting to say other than that I tried to record this video once before, but the microphone it died. So then I was like, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna charge my microphone, but then I needed to charge my phone and all sorts of stuff. But we're here now. We reached the end goal now, which is pretty wild, I would say. Because like most things with this YouTube stuff, it does nothing really goes wrong. Stuff just always takes extra time. Like I think that's a constant about YouTube. I think just always takes more time than expected, and that's fair enough. But yeah, what have I done today? Since I had quite an interesting Wednesday. As some of you may know, on Wednesday I only have like 2 hours of school, like two classes, or like one class, but for like two separate school hours of 45 minutes. So I have to be at school for 90 minutes for a whole, like that's all on Wednesday, which is pretty nice because it's not so much. It got canceled, which means I had no school. So like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But that also meant that I didn't really have anything to do the whole day. So I woke up, ate some breakfast, and it's like, what can I do? I knew I was going to the gym, but like that doesn't take all day. Sorry, I'm just laying in my bed. Like going to the gym doesn't take all day. It takes at most 1.5 hours, like at most. And yeah. So I had to do that. I also had to pick up my little brother at 2 o'clock from his school, which I did, of course. But in between, I really didn't have anything to do. So I listed a couple of things. I sold a pair of shoes, and I got an offer on some Skylanders, which I found in my drawer. So I found three more Skylanders in my drawer. I sold like what I thought was all of them before for like a huge bundle thing, but I guess that wasn't all of them. So now I put them up for sale. Like I got an offer from some Polish dude or woman. I don't know what gender they are. Just some Polish person, and I accepted it, but they haven't paid yet, so I can't ship the product. It's all right. Is what it is. Just trying to get rid of them because like I don't have the game, I don't have the portal, I have the console, but I don't have the game, so like just don't really want to play it if I can't play it. Um, yeah. What more? I also sold a shirt from if you remember. If you don't, I bought like a whole bunch of shirts. I don't know if I've told this story before, but I bought a whole bunch of shirts. Really a lot of them. But I sold one today. Hopefully, I'll sell more soon. It like depends. I'm in profit already, like on everything. So it can take time, but I don't want to end up with a bunch of shirts. Like, I want to sell most of them. That would be pretty nice if I could do that. But of course, that isn't guaranteed. But yeah, I had a pretty uneventful day. I didn't even paint today just yet. I'm probably gonna paint later. I just don't really feel like it. Just didn't really feel like it, no. But probably gonna do some of that later. yeah, just in general, kind of a chill day, doing nothing really. And I think that's nice to have once in a while. But today I would probably have liked to do more because I just had Monday and Tuesday or Thursday. I can never remember the difference between like those days, which is which. But anyway, Yeah, I was doing stuff. I had school, I had work. Great, great, great. But yeah, didn't have nothing to do today. So I'm just chilling. And that's also nice because I kind of had to get a video out today, which is going to be this one you're listening to now. So that's also kind of great timing. And one guy from my job, he actually asked, like on the group chat, the work group chat, can somebody take my shift if they want to this tonight? And it's one of the easy short shifts, and I was literally typing it out, on my phone, and then this other girl, she just sniped it. She just took it. So it was pretty sad. Like, it was only 2.5 hours, so it wasn't like the end of the world. But I would like more. I would like to work. I like, being at my. I don't like being at my job, but I like the money that I get from being at my job. If you know. So yeah, hopefully everything goes well, but I don't know. So I also got my payment for my PR at my school. Or I didn't get the payment, but I just I sent in the payment form. So yeah, just chilling, usual stuff. Probably gonna buy some paint soon. I don't know. So it depends after this painting, like how far I am with that. Definitely gonna paint later. But right now we're drawing with a fountain pen in my sketchbook. I keep saying sketchbook, but I draw in the sketchbook a lot. So like drawing with this fountain pen that I usually draw with is always great. Like I love those. Just love using it. What can I talk about? It's these videos where I don't really have anything specific to talk about, or the videos are pretty long. But I feel like this drawing deserves kind of at least like, and a half an hour. I think it deserves the real time drawing just because there's so many small details being built up, and if you really like appreciate the drawing, you would like that. I think I would like to see that, but I don't know, maybe. For once, I'm actually doing the voiceover inside because my little brother is at like Scooter. No, not Scooter. Well, it's called Scooter in Danish, but it's like something different. But I don't really have it in America. But yeah, he's had something to do, something like I don't know how to explain it, but so I don't have any problems when screaming at his friends when they're gaming, so I can just sit here and in my bed doing the voiceover, which is really nice. I think it's fine going out to the barn to do the voiceover. It's not a problem, but it isn't great either. Like it's not fantastic. It's really not. And update on my candles, if anybody cares. They're getting better. I've burned a few more candles in and just keep on going and just melting more wax on the candle holders. It's getting pretty cool. Still keeping with the red theme, and I found a place where I can get the red lights, or not lights, the red candles, the red candles, which is also a charity shop, so I guess it goes to a good cause, which I think is nice. But yeah, just building up the face, all the stuff that I usually do, and like I don't really know. I have the drawing here, just holding the drawing as it is, and of course you're just with the eyes and beginning of the ears. But I think this is a very basic drawing. Like I think it's not really scary at all or anything. I think the most scary part is the difference in the eyes, and it's kind of like his head is kind of skewed to one side. But yeah, and his mouth is a little bit too close to his chin and some other stuff. But generally, I think it's an okay drawing. Definitely artistic. Definitely, I like the hair actually. The hair turned out pretty decent. But yeah, is this one of my greatest? Definitely not. Do I feel like most of my paintings or drawings are my greatest or really great? No. I feel like they don't really they grow on me a little bit, of course, but mostly like just happens once in a while. And you probably know this if you're an artist. Like just randomly once in a while, you create something that's just you can see that you've progressed. Kind of. Yeah. Also, I really think that driving my car every day is kind of hurting my finances. And it's not. I'm not driving to drive. Like, I drive with a purpose, either to see something or go somewhere. But gas is expensive, man, for a student who also uses a lot of money on art supplies. So it kind of makes sense, I think. Really, I don't know. Also, I've been having a lot of thoughts about like how am I gonna keep creating when I move out? Because like if I'm gonna live in an apartment, I won't have space to paint, like paint big paintings, which kind of scares me because that's like one of my favorite things to do, and I'm probably gonna figure something out. But like, that would really suck if I couldn't do that. Because it's not that I think my paintings are necessarily better than my drawings. I think both are great. But I like the aspect of painting, I really do. And I like the aspect of painting large and bigger paintings. Stuff that, of course, I can do at home now, and most people could do at their home. But just in an apartment, that wouldn't be plausible in the same way. I'd probably have to board up the whole flipping apartment with plastic or something. And if it's a bigger city, I'll probably look for like a studio or something to get an art studio. But also that costs money. So again, it's a bunch of stuff that needs to kind of come together, so I can just do something like keep being creative. Definitely my goal. Definitely my goal. Also, just could be cool if YouTube would pay me. That would be really nice. And we've already at like 711 subscribers, which I think is insane. That's crazy. At least the last time I checked, we were 711. 711. Not funny though, but still. I think that mostly, like, even when you reach the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, like, when you just reach it, I don't think there's going to be a lot of money. But again, making something instead of nothing is always better, because if I would do it for free. Like, I like doing it because for me, it's something I like to do. I might as well record it. But also, I think that generally, just it's also an ad for my stuff, like pushing my stuff on the internet every which way I can. It's an ad for myself and the stuff that I make, and that's a part of being an artist. Like, you gotta advertise yourself. People gotta know who you are, and they gotta just see your stuff. And sometimes you need to, I wouldn't say compromise yourself, but definitely do some stuff that isn't your favorite things in the world. That's part of it, I think. Like, it's part of life, really. I don't know if you can hear the machines in the background, but my neighbor, he's a farmer. I don't think they're farming right now because it's kind of too cold for the crops. But he's driving his big tractor around, probably moving some stuff or something like that. I don't know. I'm really quite happy that my family aren't farmers. I like the place we live really. Like I've been thinking about like also moving out, but just generally how am I gonna live when I grow up, when I become an adult? Because I really think that I want to live like I do now, kind of close to a city, but not in a city. Like a drive, like just a quick drive to the city, like 10, 20 minutes to a larger city, but then live on like an old farm or just a house in the countryside. Not really being a person, a country boy, but not really being that country. I think in Denmark it's very different from like America or other places like that, because since we all have access to the internet and all this sorts of stuff, and the country is so small, the country is equally developed overall. I think there's aspects where the bigger cities definitely have advantages, but there's also aspects where the smaller cities and like small towns have it better. But that's also like individual taste in what people like and want out of everything. Like personally, I like this type of living, kind of close to the city. I wish the city we live close to was bigger. That's the only thing. And of course, I would probably decorate my house a lot different and probably do a lot of different things. But yeah, more cool, more creative. That's how my existence would be if it was up to me. I've also really been like contemplating just what am I gonna do after school and a bunch of weird stuff. Just generally life things. Growing up, I guess. But I am an adult, which is weird. I also feel weird about that because like I'm 18, I'm technically an adult. I can do whatever in my country at least, but I don't really feel like it, which I think is what it is, man. Oh yeah, I also found where I'm going out on next year on my student trip, for my like school trip. We're going to Edinburgh, Scotland, which is really cool. It was between London and Dublin normally, and they've also been to Edinburgh before. But they usually chose the place where they can get the best deal from the traveling companies, and also where the prices are the best. But my school hasn't they haven't been to London in a while because they feel like the city is too big, so where you wouldn't get to know the city, and also it's too expensive. Stuff is really expensive in London compared to like the rest of England. And I know Scotland and Ireland aren't in England, of course they aren't England, but still, as I was saying, and Dublin has been very nice, and they've been there the last couple of years, I think. But I think Scotland was cheaper, which I like because like the admissions fee isn't bad. It isn't great. Like the best fee would be nothing. Like if it was cheap or like very very cheap or just free, that would of course be perfect. But that isn't exactly possible. But for the stuff we're getting, I think the price is right. So at least I think so, and I'll definitely be able to make the money myself. Which also nice. So yeah, just bunch of different stuff happening. Well, that's not happening until next year. So we also did a movie recently. We finally finished the movie with in media class and showed the movie. I think it was pretty good. Stuff could have been better, of course. Stuff could have been more fleshed out and all this and all that. But with our budget and our time and all this things and the limitations of how long the movie could be, I think we did pretty good. I'm not worried about the exam as much, but I'm kind of worried which people I'll have in my group at the exam. Kind of worried about that because like some people in my class aren't really that great of actors. I'm not saying I'm a perfect or fantastic actor, but you know, but that's for another time, and you'll definitely get to hear about it if you stay, which I really recommend because you've watched pretty far, like over 20 minutes into this video. So you should definitely like, subscribe, and comment and all that stuff. But I really appreciate it, like I really do. And you are helping me realize and reach one of my goals, which is YouTube, but also like extending the YouTube thing is like making money from my art because my art is my content, which is like would be pretty cool, but doesn't have to be. Does not have to be. You can stay if you want. Like if you don't want to, you don't have to. Sometimes, I don't really have anything to say on my videos. Sometimes it's kind of run out of thoughts I have. Well, one thing's cool. I just thought about, and one of my favorite musicians, Jesse Wells. You probably know him. You if you have like, the other social medias, you've probably seen him or you listen to his music. I think he's a great artist. You should definitely listen to him. I really recommend it. But he's having a Europe tour, which is awesome. But he's not coming to Copenhagen. And the closest city is Berlin, which kind of sucks. Because, like, Berlin is a fine city. I really love the city of Berlin. But getting there for one concert, for one night, and getting back is expensive. Like, the ticket's going to cost money. But that's fine. Makes sense. The gas is going to cost a lot of money. That makes sense. I'm gonna need a place to sleep. I can sleep in my car, but I'm not going to. Like, that would just be stupid. Hotels are really not cheap. They're expensive. And then I have to drive home, which also costs gas money. It's like it's gonna be a really expensive and really time consuming affair. So hopefully he will come to Copenhagen. And I've really thought about making getting signatures or something to get this man to see. Or anything to get to get him to realize that people want him in Copenhagen. Hopefully he'll come to Copenhagen because that's a much easier city for me to come to, and yeah. So I won't be going to Berlin, even though he's one of the greatest artists ever and one of my favorite artists who is alive. Most of my favorite artists, they're dead or they're retired. So yeah, he's really great. So hopefully, he'll come to Copenhagen at some point. I don't know if you guys know that, have that feeling with artists, musicians, stuff like that. Just you really want to go to their concerts, and they're touring and stuff, but they just don't come to your not even your cities, your country. I feel like sometimes when people say, "Oh, world tour," and they're just skipping a bunch of places, which is pretty weird, because that is not the world. But no, never mind that. But yeah. As you can see, the drawing is nearly done, and I almost forgot the eyebrows. But so spoiler, I don't, but I almost did. And adding the hair here, did this very simple short hair. It actually turned out pretty great. I would maybe have liked a more flowy and crazy hair normally, but for this drawing I thought he was so still, and I wouldn't say expressionless, but he's just staring into blank space, so it doesn't really make sense that he would have crazy hair. He could probably, maybe he was scared or something, I don't know. Something also pretty cool, there's a car boot sale in very close to me, and it only cost like a very few, like I think like 50 kroner, which if you know is if you know you know, that's not a lot to get a table. So you can get like two tables for 100 kroner, which is not really that expensive because you just have to sell like 100 kroner worth of stuff. And that made me think, since I do this reselling stuff, it could be cool to take the reselling stuff on the road. I don't really know if anybody like wants to buy any of my stuff, but I could lose 100 kroner. Just I would live with that. That wouldn't be the worst in the world. Like it would be fine. But again, like I don't think I'm gonna make that much money. I don't really think so, because I don't know what type of people who come, like people from the neighborhood and old people and stuff like that. And then I feel like I should do like deals or stuff like that, but again, not really. I feel like reselling online is probably the best choice for me, because that's where the young people are, and also just like, yeah. Especially, I think that just would be fun. I don't think it would be great. Probably won't make him make stuff, but one of my friends, she's going. So we just sit and talk all day, if nothing else. Maybe I can sell stuff. I don't really know. It's in March, so there's good time to buy stuff, or just keep like it's more like gonna be like layer sale. Like when I have too much stuff, when I have too much stuff left, I haven't sold. It's probably what I'm gonna take there, because the good stuff I sell pretty quickly. Even some of the bad stuff just goes after a while, which is nice. And like for the last few pairs of shoes, I have really made like 10 kroner, 5 kroner, 2 kroner, which isn't a lot. Like there's like I think 6 kroners is about $1, something like that. So I've just gotten my money back mostly, which I also think is fine. Like if something doesn't sell for a profit, and you realize, oh, I can't sell this for a profit, just getting your money back is great. Like that's the main objective if you can't sell it for more. And yeah, I have a bunch of shirts which I hope will sell, and I'm gonna buy some other stuff which I also hope will sell. Just keep this resale thing rolling. And I kind of thought about like, oh, how much should I save like for myself, and how much should I use to buy new stuff? But I kind of realized that it will be hard to use all my money in a month, like all my resale money. The more it grows, like, because then there just it would just be a bunch of stuff, which isn't bad. Like I love stuff, I love stuff, but yeah, I'm not gonna use all of it, because that would simply be it wouldn't be impossible, but then I only want to buy good stuff because I don't want to waste my money. I would much rather not buy a thing than buy something and I can't sell it. That would be just wasting money. And then I would rather waste my money on cool stuff, which I would use myself, because most of the time I buy stuff that I wouldn't use myself, or stuff that I can't fit. And that's the worst, because then I'm kind of putting myself in a situation where I have to sell this for what I bought it for, or more, if I want to be like the reselling thing to work. But yeah, I just sold a jacket which I sold for less than I bought it for, just because I had lain so long, and that's fine. That's okay. But yeah, you can see me signing the picture here, and wow, you've really listened for a long time. And you'll get a secret word, which is paper. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please have a nice day, or night, or whatever. Bye bye.